All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm back already, right? It's only Tuesday. But like I said, it's time to crank up this crusade as we continue against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners. Now, I want to focus on this petition because I want it to do well. So I'm going to do my best to reinforce the petition. And I don't plan on showing you anything new in this video or in this series of videos. As you see, I put part 1 in parentheses. No. So there's going to be multiple parts, and each live stream will be in support of this petition. You know, I was taught growing up, if you're going to do something, do it right. And do it right the first time. But I'm surprised that pit bulls, at the very least, have not been banned in all states already. I really am. And the fact that they're not, the fact that they're projected as angels, just like all the rest of the dogs, really shows how immoral this population is in general. I mean, you really have to have a low level of basic decency, human decency, humanity. There should be an outcry, constant outcry from the public, as long as these things are legal to own. Right? Now, I shared a video with the members, and I'm going to go over it on this video, as well as the future videos, the future segments. Is going to completely cover this documentary. Now, this documentary was uploaded by National Pit Bull Awareness Group. Many of you are aware of this group, National Pit Bull Awareness. They actually have a YouTube channel, and I wish they would upload more content. That would be excellent. There are a lot of the dog bite attorney, Kenneth, I can't remember his last name, but he also has a YouTube channel. And both of them, you know, they haven't uploaded anything in a while. I hope they get back into uploading content. Excellent, excellent content. And boy, oh boy, this documentary, I'll leave a link in the description box after this live stream. I shared it with the members of the channel. Very, very disturbing stuff. And this is the type of footage that we need. It's the type of footage that we need in order to get some real results. Now, I'm going to also include more doctors, right? More statements from more doctors. You remember I showed in a video not long ago multiple doctors that I had not shared their statements with you yet. And now I'm going to show even more doctors who thankfully spoke out against the presence of pit bulls. At the very least, provided some information from, you know, a doctor's perspective. And I think it strengthens our case, strengthens this petition. And this won't be the last petition, right? If this is not a success, there will be more, right? Odd day. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday? I don't know where you are or how it is what the weather's like here. It is gorgeous. Not too hot, not too cold. You can walk outside with a t-shirt on. It is so nice. So nice. And I would love to just walk around, but I know better. I know I'm not alone. The presence of dogs really robs us of our basic freedoms to simply walk around the neighborhood. You know, I'm not worried. I would be prepared for a dog attack, but, I just don't want to go through with it. So that's unfortunate. Oh, yes. Right? Okay, already we have a nice little crowd here. Let's get into it. Now I want Judge Judy to open this up because I have something to say about her infamous statements, right? Judge Judy, I wish I had a compilation of everything she's ever said about pit bulls because I don't think a video like that exists. What a brave, brave woman to come out against pit bulls the way that she did, right? So I'm going to allow Judge Judy to open this live stream up, and I'm going to tell you up front, be warned, there are some images on this video that are difficult to look at, right?
I come by our house because she's there every day.
All you had to do was pay.
Into our neighbors' properties.
All you had to do was pay the vet bill.
But why would I pay for something that I didn't? My dog, they clearly need to pay us. My dog was doing nothing wrong.
Well,
He was in his yard. We were at our home at our family gathering on a holiday. He came to our home.
at 9
His dog came to. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Let me tell
the
you
animal
something.
control
I
says
have to
10.
believe that this man saw this sign, saw a pit bull in the yard, opened up the gate, and went inside your gate with the pit bull barking. I have to believe that. And I'm going to tell you something. He doesn't look crazy. So I don't believe that.
But what is a pit bull? That's irrelevant. What kind of dog that is?
Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, in your head, it's
That's like
in your
telling me
head.
that my child is in the wrong because my child is black and that child is white. So that child is okay. A pit bull breed has nothing to do
All right, here we go. My 3-year-old beloved grandson is lying in the hospital bed, implanted with an IV and many stitches all over his face and chin. My heart is broken. His grandma and I were the last to be called, out of guilt. He's the victim of another pit bull attack. At home, the little guy says, "Papa, dog bit me." Just 3 days before, I warned the family that these dogs are unpredictable and dangerous animals around children. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck. People who allow this to happen should lose their assets and be jailed. They all know that altercation is inevitable. Do you know how many letters I get every day from people who are either maimed or have family members killed by pit bulls? No, listen to me. Killed by pit bulls. Not poodles, not dachshunds, not golden retrievers, pit bulls. If you choose to have a dog that you know has a reputation of being dangerous, reputation. So if you choose to have one, don't make this a race thing. This has nothing to do with race. This has to do with stupid people owning dogs that they know have a dangerous propensity. Now, some pit bulls may be fine. Some say, we've had ours for 12 years and we love. Maybe fine. But if I were a responsible person and know that there are people and children in a neighborhood, and I don't live on a desert island by myself, I would say, I'm going to get a dog that's different from a pit bull. Because if you get a pit bull for protection, and if you put a sign, badass dog in here, beware, well, then you know that dog has dangerous propensity. Judging for the plaintiff, in the amount of $1,700, we're done. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Judge Judy actually made another statement, and it wasn't in this clip. And she said, actually, it may be right here, right? Let's jump right into the video. And this compilation is over, it's almost 2 hours long. Now, this is very, very infuriating right here. Age restricted, so I have to watch it on YouTube. Stop it. Okay, now this is extra infuriating. What is this? Oh my God. Okay, bear with me here. I have to perform some gymnastics here. Oh my God. I really hate the internet. I hate computers. I hate all of this nonsense. Okay, now how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? This is ridiculous. No, we're going to watch this. We're going to watch this. Okay? Now I might lose my feed here. Just bear with me. Bear with me. What can I capture? Okay? Now we're going to lose this. See if we can do this here. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't have any problems. Anybody struggling with, technical things, you're not alone. Hey, get this out of here. Get this out of here and give me a screen capture. Okay. Okay. Video capture. Oh, please work. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Okay. Let's do image slideshow. No. Bear with me, people. I have no idea what my problem is here. Okay. Chrome. There we go. There we go. Oh man. All right. Excellent. Now I may have to go back and forth, so just bear with me. Okay, let's get started.
You have dangerous dogs.
No, ma'am, they're not.
Yes, they are. Read newspapers. Go on Google. Read about it. Do you read?
Yes, I do.
Read about it.
Second I got in here, you guys didn't see, you just jumped right on my lap. So straight to my lap. Looking for a forever home, right? If you would like to adopt Carter.
Wow.
This dog is described as a family member. It's 5 years old, raised as a puppy, and tonight it may have attacked the one person who loved it most.
My pit bull attacked my...
Okay. Now, Judge Judy said, and you might remember this, she said that you're not allowed to visit your stupidity onto others. She said if you want to own a pit bull with the reputation that it has, with the statistics that they have produced, you're free to do that. You're free to endanger yourself if you want to. She said, but that does not give you the right to visit your stupidity onto others. Many of you may remember she said that. But that's exactly what these dog owners do. That's what they do. You don't have to go inside of these people's homes for them to visit their stupidity onto you. Just bringing these things into the neighborhood endangers everybody in the neighborhood. So the very thing that Judge Judy said that they were not allowed to do is actually being done under the law. So what we need is for the laws to be changed, right? The laws to be changed.
My wife, for no reason, did a big hole in her side.
Okay, the mutt attacked his wife, right? Attacked his wife.
And the law don't get him, he's a dead dog, him.
The dog Milton Weeks raised from a 6-month-old puppy, crated and taken out of the house. Half an hour earlier, his wife airlifted to a trauma center after the dog attacked.
To pick up an electric heater that we had under a table and hit him across the head, and then he jumped at me.
Weeks says
Okay, they hit them up with an electric heater. Look how durable these things are.
Argument inside the home sparked the attack, but it wasn't the first time the dog had bitten someone.
Bit other people because they violated our property. But this time it went too far. He attacked my wife.
It didn't hurt for real. I mean, I ain't feeling it.
Jackson Turner shows the scars from his tangle with the dog.
I jumped the fence. He came out the door, and then he walked up to me, sniffed me and stuff, and then hit me, and then bit me.
After those bites, family and friends told Weeks.
Look at that. Look at that devil. Look at that Satan. All of these mutants. Satan. They're demons. There's nothing lovable, nothing beautiful. All these stupid metaphors, handsome, whatever these dog nuts call these things. They're none of that. Sweet pooch. These are demonic beings in the flesh.
To get rid of the dog.
Killers. Soulless, spiritless killers that prefer to kill babies and children.
Now he wishes he'd listened.
And anybody got any pit bull to get rid of them because I never thought it would attack my wife.
He said, anybody got pit bulls, you better get rid of them because I never thought they would attack my wife. Now, like we talk about all the time, when you find out that they can snap at any moment, it's too late. Somebody has been mutilated or killed. So there's no sense in taking the chance. Find another means of protection.
10-year-old
But this need to be documented because I see too many of these dog nuts, these pit bull nuts online, on the internet talking about how wonderful pit bulls are, right? But this is when all of that goes wrong.
Scars from his tangle with the dog.
I jumped the fence. He came out the door, and then
10-year-old David Smith has tears in his eyes and presses a towel to his face. He says this pit bull attacked him.
My chin, right there, and my forehead.
Investigators say David rode his bike over to a family friend's house on Wabash Road.
Okay, this is a completely different story, people. Now, you're going to love this documentary, right? I'm going to post it as soon as this live stream is over.
In Palm Bay. He was outside in the front yard. The next door neighbor's pit bull right here came up to him. One moment the dog was sniffing him, the next an attack.
Okay. So that was unprovoked.
It was biting my face, and then Ken grabbed it and flung it by its collar.
This is Ken wearing the camouflage. He says David didn't provoke the dog one bit.
Didn't provoke it one bit.
Just lunged at the kid, knocked him down, started chewing at his face.
Ken says once he got the dog off David, he checked on his injuries. He noticed a puncture wound to his cheek and a bite to his scalp. He says the dog just walked away. We tracked down the dog's owner. Wanted to see if we could talk to the owner of the dog, if you didn't mind.
We have
How about that?
no comment.
Hey, how about that? You know why they did that? That was their way of saying, no, we're not going to project pit bulls in a negative light. That's basically what they were saying.
David's mom took him to he says the dog just walked away. We tracked down the dog's owner. Wanted to see if we could talk to the owner of the dog, if you didn't mind.
We have no comment.
Oh, no comment. But if the dog had done something positive, they would be happy to comment. Yeah, we've had her since she was a puppy. She's always been a wonderful pooch. But when things go wrong, when that mutt justifies the stigma, right? When it confirms the beliefs in regard to how dangerous it is, they have nothing to say.
David's mom took him to the hospital to get checked out. You can see the wounds for yourself. Not that bad, but a big scare for David, and a big thanks to Ken for coming to the rescue.
In 2005, 2 pit bulls were responsible for the death of a 5-year-old Fresno boy, Tyler Babcock.
This is a new story. So you see how this documentary, it just goes from one story to the next, one story to the next. And that is what you need. That's exactly what you need to drive the point home and to really reinforce your point, petition, whatever you're trying to do.
His death sparked statewide calls for a ban on pit bulls. That didn't happen.
And there was a statewide call, and they were not banned. This is horrible. That's why we need more people participating in eradicating these things from society.
Supporters of the breed.
Restarted. Okay, it's reconnected now. Are we live? Are we good? You might hear that sound. It just said that we were disconnected. Okay, we're good. We're good. Shout out to Dogs Are Garbage, aka Ashley. Yes, we love you too. I love all of my subscribers. I love all of my supporters. People, anybody who supports the eradication of mutts from society, you are a very sane individual. Very sane individual, and you are really the pillars of society. Don't let anybody tell you any different. This is what people need to be deep into. What we are into right now, making our country, our communities, a safer place to live. Just making it safe, period. Because with these things in our communities are not safe.
I am devastated. I know our organization is, but we cannot blame it on these dogs.
We cannot blame breeds. That's her argument. And where do I start? Here, let me rewind.
This family, this community breed.
Dogs are not the problem.
We cannot just blame it on the breed.
Why not? When the breed has statistics that are unique to the breed. So what's your argument? You have to support this suggestion that we not look at the breed. Because right now it looks very, very bad for you. It looks very bad. Right? Let me pull up some information here. Right? I've shared several statements from doctors, from several professionals. And so you have to ask the question, who's more believable? The experts or some, random dog nut on the internet? In 2020, there were 46 deaths in the United States. 46 deaths. Pit bulls contributed to 72% of them. 46 deaths. 33 of those victims were killed by bully breeds. Now, I'm going to say bully breed because I know that many times they call any type of bully breed a pit bull. And I don't want to pinpoint pit bulls because then you have these dog nuts saying, oh, that's not really a pit bull. No, I'm saying bully breeds. They're all the same. 72%, that's just in 2020. During the 16-year period between 2005 and 2020, dogs killed 568 Americans. Americans. 2 dog breeds. Pit bulls, bully breeds, and Rottweilers. Bully breeds were responsible for 380 of those deaths. Excuse me. Yeah, those deaths. These are deaths in only a 16-year period. That's a lot of deaths. Can you imagine a single serial killer killing 568 people over a span of 16 years. Right? Let's not diminish these statistics. That's very significant. Very significant. In 2020, combination of bully breeds and the Mastiff accounted for 87% of all dog bite related deaths. This is real. This is real. It's not a game. Now here, let me see if I can, oh, this is excellent. This is excellent. Let's see if I can, do we have a feed? Hold up. What's going on here? Okay, does my PowerPoint show? Oh, it doesn't show. Okay, bear with me, people. I'm still trying to, okay. Let's continue with the video before I screw something up here.
That I don't want to take away from the horrible thing that has happened to these people, this family, this the community as a whole. I am devastated. I know our organization is, but we cannot blame it on these dogs.
But Merced County Sheriff Mark Payson has a different view.
These are rugged, vicious animals that, just that quickly can snap.
A toddler from Delhi is killed in another vicious pit bull attack, the second in less than a month in that small North Valley town.
Merced County detectives say it appears the child went from the house into the backyard while his babysitter was in the bathroom. That's where this dog, a 70-pound pit bull mix, was waiting.
Attacks the toddler and unfortunately starts dragging the toddler around the backyard. Babysitter sees this, tries to call 911, grabs a barbecue fork, a 2-pronged barbecue fork, tries to fend off this pit bull.
The babysitter got the child away from the dog, called 911, and jumped in her car to drive the bleeding child to the hospital.
This is when Deputy Cardenas sees her, pulls her over, and is literally handed this blood-soaked 17-month-old toddler.
The child was airlifted.
Man. So again, what else does this to kids? What else does this to kids? Gruesome, just flat out gruesome, horrific attacks. Yet we tolerate it. Why? Because dogs are so wonderful, right?
To a Turlock hospital, then to Children's Hospital in Madera County, where he passed away. It's the second pit bull attack in the town of Delhi this month.
We came out and we heard the mother yelling, the dog's got my kid, the dog's got my kid.
A neighborhood in Lowell shaken tonight. A 7-year-old boy is dead after police say he was viciously attacked by 2 pit bulls on Clare Street.
I always see them playing out here, in the morning times or sometimes during the afternoons. I always see kids out here playing.
One neighbor says he ran outside when he heard a woman frantically screaming for help.
This lady was in there and she's hitting the dogs with a stick, and the dogs wouldn't let go of the kid, dragging him around like a rag doll.
And you saw this happen?
Yes.
Lowell police tell us they got a call about the attack at around 6 Saturday evening. The preliminary investigation suggests the boy might have gotten into a fenced area with the pit bulls just before the attack.
I know those dogs are kind of scary and rough, so whoever had them should have been more careful.
Authorities say one of the pit bulls escaped the fenced area but has since been captured.
What? Whoever had him should have been more careful. Okay, what are you talking about?
Just the boy might have gotten into a fenced area with the pit bulls just before the attack.
I know those dogs are kind of scary and rough, so whoever had them should have been more careful.
Oh my God, we got to stop talking like this. We have to stop making brainless statements like this that make absolutely no sense. You can't request that people who own these dogs be careful. These things cannot be controlled. You can try. You may have a margin of success. But when they're in attack mode, they're out of control. How many videos have we seen where multiple adults cannot stop the attack? Let's stop this. Stop trying to put a stamp of approval on their presence. It's like, wait, where's the cutoff point? I mean, does the dog have to be 7 feet tall and weigh 2,000 pounds? Are you still going to be like, well, you need to control your dog? You need to be more careful? No, you need to get out of here. Get out of this community with that thing. That's what you need to do. I'm not going to suggest that you somehow try to physically detain this mutt. And these things are bull strong. They have no business in society, period.
Authorities say one of the pit bulls escaped the fenced area but has since been captured and euthanized. The other pit bull is under the custody of animal control.
If you choose to have 2 pit bulls, you are responsible for any damage that they do to other animals or to human beings when they get let out, on purpose or accidentally. Do we understand each other? Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand me? You choose to have dogs that can cause serious damage, that have killed children, that have maimed adults, that have killed adults. You choose to maintain those dogs as pets. That's your prerogative. You want to put yourself and your children in that position. This country allows you to do that. This country, however, does not allow you to visit your stupidity on others.
Wait. That's what I have a problem with. Because she and all other dog owners, they are visiting their stupidity onto others. It is not simply the owner and her child in the home who is in danger. Everybody is in danger. Everybody. And that's why everybody should be against the presence of these things. They should not be tolerated.
Do I make myself clear? Clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff, Nina, for $2,500. That's all.
Wednesday afternoon, Hyder's mom and their little rescue Toast, a beloved poodle Yorkie mix, were walking through the college area to the post office. Witnesses say 2 pit bulls broke through a fence and ripped Toast from her arm.
Broke through a fence. Look at that fence.
I was so blown away by how brave she was to get down.
Ripped Toast.
Broke through a fence. This is what I'm talking about. This is an example of the so-called responsible dog owner. Look what happened. Try to put up a fence, they break through it. They jump over it. They squeeze underneath it. So, what's the best solution to protect the public? To not have them present in the first place. That's the one and only solution.
From her arms.
I was so blown away by how brave she was to get down literally face to face with this giant pit bull.
Oh, brave. This is man's best friend. What are you talking about? These angels sent from heaven. If we were more like these things, we'd be better entities. What is all this talk about being brave just because you are close to man's best friend? See?
And she's trying to, gouge its eyes out. She's trying to pry our dog out of its mouth. I mean, she thought it was going to kill her next.
Toast died on the way to the hospital. Hyder's mom recovering with bites all over her body.
As bad as the physical stuff is, it's really losing our dog. He was a real member of our family. That's the worst part of the whole thing.
Okay, the worst part of this documentary is that you hear from a bunch of dog nuts. Right? Now, there are a lot of dog lovers who are against pit bulls. Right? Just a heads up.
Hyder says the whole thing has been a nightmare. He says he now wants pit bull owners to listen to what happened to his family.
I just hope that anybody that hears this that's sitting there with their pit bull going, oh, that's so terrible, but my pit bull would never do that, to know that you don't know that. And by the time that you do know, it's already too late,
Oh, there you go. Right?
Someone's animal or someone is going to be dead.
The son literally pried the dog's mouth up off of her.
Katie Weeks is living.
This is another story. I like how they put this documentary together. Don't waste no time. One after another.
Every mother's nightmare. Late Monday night, her 5-year-old daughter Selena was attacked by a neighbor's pit bull.
It was a matter of seconds, and that little girl's face was completely disfigured.
Those few seconds turned into 6.5 hours of reconstructive surgery and nearly 900 stitches to put Selena.
So, we have the testimony from the experts, from the doctors, who say that pit bulls cause more damage. More damage. Let's say bully breeds cause more damage. This is from Fuseli and Lee, injury lawyers. We know pit bulls or bully breeds are 2.5 times more likely to bite in multiple areas. They are 31% more likely to attack an unknown individual than other breeds. They're 48% more likely to attack without being provoked. And listen, it's higher than that. Almost everybody who's attacked by a dog, it was unprovoked. Unprovoked. Let's stop this. People don't go around provoking dogs, especially big dogs. People don't do that. Just based on instinct, we don't do that. Virtually every time it's unprovoked. During 2005 to 2017, bully breeds killed 1 citizen in America every 16.7 days. Every 17 days, a bully breed killed a human being, totaling up to 284 Americans killed. Yet they want to hit us with this mantra of, oh, don't blame the breed. Oh, it's the owners. Let's blame the owners. Okay, are you going to go to each owner's home and make sure that they're raising it the way you think it should be raised? You're not going to do that, but even if you could, guess what? Nothing is going to guarantee that that thing won't attack. They need to be gotten out of here, gotten completely out of our society and euthanized. I don't care how they are disposed of. They need to be disposed of.
Selena's face back together, an event that sent everyone in her family on an emotional roller coaster.
Fear, hope, more prayers than I've ever said in my life.
My wife comes home and she sees all these marks that he made on the wall.
Jeff Borkhardt tells me he and his wife decided to leave their Darien home because the memories of their beloved son Dax were too overwhelming.
This is another story.
The 14-month-old was mauled to death by 2 pit bulls in March.
We couldn't be here anymore. We had to come home to the house with marks on the walls, this empty house.
In his first interview about the death of his son, Jeff tells 12 News he wants to speak out on what he feels is a dangerous breed.
Believing the myth, it's not the breed, it's all how you raise them, is what left us without a son.
There you go. Right? Let's repeat that.
Jeff is motivated to talk.
How you raise them.
Dangerous breed.
Believing the myth, it's not the breed, it's all how you raise them, is what left us without a son.
See, oh my God. You should not have to explain stuff like this. We as humans, we don't expect to be attacked by an organism that we are nice towards, that we take care of. So when these dog nuts feed dogs, they expect the dog to look at them and their family as, let's say people that the dog will never attack. They think the dog is going to look at them the same way a human looks at them. You remember that woman who brought in a stray pit bull? She said that as she was being attacked, she was trying to remind the dog that she was the one that had been feeding it for the past few days. Y'all remember that? She said that on camera and during the interview. She said, I was trying to remind the dog that I was the one feeding it for the past few days. Another example, them expecting dogs to think like humans. This is a big problem. A big problem. And, you know, I try to be professional about it. But look, these people display overt brain damage. This is a brain problem, a cognition problem. You're not thinking clearly. You know, if you think these things are anything like a human being, the very fact that they're predators tells you you have no business treating them like family members. How different do you think humans would be if for food we went and killed other animals with our bare hands and teeth and ate it raw? You know what type of mindset you need to live like that? You don't treat anything like that like a family member, allowing it to live inside of your home, right? Let's not be stupid, right? Let's stop being stupid, right? Because anybody who owns these things, you've already began the process of being stupid. Let's stop being stupid.
Jeff is motivated to talk after the latest pit bull attack last week in Caledonia that left a toddler with severe injuries to his face.
Someone on TV is going to look at this and they're going to say, you know what? That looks like little Johnny. That looks like little Timmy or whoever. You know, because this could easily be your son or daughter too.
Jeff says before his son's death, he used to think a dog's behavior was determined by the way it was raised. However,
y'all hear that? He was a typical dog nut. Let me rewind that.
To think a dog's behavior
your son or daughter too.
Jeff says before his son's death, he used to think a dog's behavior was determined by the way it was raised.
He used to think a dog's behavior was determined by the way it was raised. That is what all the dog nuts say. That's what all the pit bull nutters say. All of them. Every last one of them. How aggressive it is, whether or not it will attack you, it all depends on how you raise them. That is an outright lie. Outright lie. The truth is that these are predators. And even for a predator, they are hyper aggressive, far beyond any other animal on the planet. They should be the last animals humans would be willing to allow into their society. The last.
However, the two pit bulls owned by the woman babysitting Dax were raised by the couple as puppies and had never
raised them since puppies.
Been abused. Jeff says the dogs didn't have a history of aggressiveness, and he never would have left his child at the house if they did. He says that day in March, they just snapped.
They had one goal in mind, and that was to murder my baby.
Man, boy, oh boy, what makes this so infuriating? What makes this so frustrating is that we had all the information beforehand. Just to see so many people who had the information before the attack happened, but yet they took the chance anyways. These people should be arrested. They should be locked up for decades. They should be sent to prison. These are murderers. I don't care how remorseful this man is. He killed his own son. But the narrative is not being given that way. That these people murder their own kids. That is what happens, people. But it's treated and called, it's literally called what? An accident. No. An accident is if you never bought a dog and a dog just ran into your home and attacked your baby. That's an accident. But even then, it's not an accident because that's someone's dog. Someone else in the neighborhood bought that mutt and it broke free. So that's still not an accident. These are not accidents. These are sacrifices, blood sacrifices. It's no different from any other type of witchcraft, making a pact with the devil. These are blood sacrifices. These people sacrifice their kids for what? So that dogs can exist in our society. If they were unwilling to make these sacrifices, you would never see dogs.
Jeff will never forget the way his son looked after the attack.
There was unimaginable bruises, bites all over his legs, his arms, his body, his head.
It smiled in every picture.
Yeah, every picture.
Every picture.
But now Jeff's motivation in life is telling Dax's story as many times as people will listen, because if one life is saved, he says going through this pain is worth it.
Let Dax save more lives. I know he saved lives already. I don't think it's enough.
If there's any justice.
Oh, this one's hard to listen to. It's so difficult. I'm going to skip it. This woman is, she is a dog nut. You know what? Just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and let you witness this.
Save more lives. I know he saved lives already. I don't think it's enough.
If there's any justice, they're not going to give him much because it was just a dog. To me, it meant my life. That animal kept me from putting myself in a grave.
Oh, Lord. Her dog was killed. She's a dog nut, and her dog was killed. So she's sitting up here trying to pretend like she's, heartbroken.
Rosemary Cole is in a state of despair.
Because that's what you're supposed to do. If your dog is ever killed, you're supposed to have a nervous breakdown. You're supposed to cry and act like the world is coming to an end, like the world's falling apart. You ask me, it's all fake.
Chihuahua Honey was ripped from her arms Friday night by a pit bull on a leash, attacking and killing her service dog. In the melee, the 60-year-old Cole was knocked from her wheelchair trying dead.
So this is a service mutt. So why is she all crying and acting crazy? This is a service animal. But no, these people with these service mutts, they are emotionally attached to them. Emotionally.
Desperately to save the dog that has been her world for 3 years. The incident was caught on surveillance just outside the Milanese restaurant on Main Street in Poughkeepsie, and the dog owner who walked away after the attack has since turned himself into police. He's being held on an unrelated warrant from the city of Newburgh, but for Cole, it's the end of her world. Friends and family say she refuses to eat or sleep, won't let go of the bloodstained clothing from Friday night.
I had my hands on the dog and I tried everything I could to hit the dog. You let go of my baby.
He wouldn't let go of my baby.
I couldn't save her.
The public outpouring for Cole has been tremendous, according to her son David, who started a GoFundMe page to get his mother another service dog. As of Monday night, close to $1,600 had been raised.
I watched my mother get her heart broken. I watched her get her heart ripped out, and she pretty much had everything taken away from her. And that little dog.
Why would you let yourself get that attached to a dog? Why? This thing is not a part of your lineage. This is not a mother, father, grandmother, grandfather. This thing did not contribute to your very existence. If you're willing to allow yourself to fall in love with a dog to this extent, then there's a problem somewhere. There's a relationship problem. There's a people problem. This is why I say there's a problem with social interact, with bonding with other humans. And this is why I say that's the last thing we should be doing is trying to teach kids to bond with dogs by having them read to dogs, interact with dogs. because that leads to people like this who are very unstable. This woman act like she should be on suicide watch over a dog. Stop.
It was everything to her. She felt like her heart was just ripped right out of her, lap, and that's exactly what it was.
Cole's story has gripped her peers at the Admiral Halsey Senior Bed.
Yeah.
But despite their
Yeah, everybody's close.
Be right here. I couldn't help her. If this man would have grabbed his dog by the jaws, she would still be right here with.
Stop. She ain't even crying. She ain't even crying.
She's always bad.
Yeah, when these people kill me, call themselves crying, not one tear coming out their eyes. I've never cried and there's no tears coming down. You don't have no tears, then what are you doing? You're faking.
Pay attention to what's going on with your dog. I mean, if you have an animal and you're walking the animal down the road and you even feel a little bit of insecurity about your animal, you need to control that animal.
Listen to that. Listen to what he said.
Even feel a little bit of animal.
She's always bad.
You gotta pay attention to what's going on with your dog. I mean, if you have an animal and you're walking the animal down the road and you even feel a little bit of insecurity about your animal, you need to control that animal.
Is it reasonable to ask everybody in the general public to be capable of controlling a dog? Is that reasonable? That's unreasonable. That's totally unreasonable, people. It's unrealistic. You expect every citizen, every person in the community to be capable of restraining a bully breed, a Rottweiler, any of these big dogs. That's unreasonable. It's unrealistic. So this idea that where's the owner? Well, you need to be there with your dog. You need to watch your dog, as if everybody possesses the physical ability to muscle a dog around and control them. That is insane. And that's where we need to stop. These laws, all of them, the leash laws, the advice from the so-called experts that there needs to always be an adult present, you need to control, all these types of stupid control your dog narratives is nonsense, lunacy. Very, very few people can control a mutt. When they want to attack, listen, I don't care how big and strong you are, that mutt can get away from you. Because a dog's strength is concentrated. Even though they weigh 60 pounds, they will be just as strong or stronger than a 250-pound man. We need to stop this. This narrative of control your dog, no. That's part of the problem. Expecting people to be able to control their dog, and then that mutt starts attacking people. That's part of the problem.
Right now, we just want to make everybody aware that you have to control your dog.
No, there you go. You have to control your dog. Stop.
Something like this is gonna.
Laura Parker says her daughter was a victim in a pit bull attack nearly 2 weeks ago. Their family dog Bruno caused these injuries to the young girl's face.
Look at that. Just bit her nose off.
Attached to her face. I actually had to pull him off of her face. I called 911. They came to the house. I was in complete shock.
Bruno has since been put down, but his parents, who neighbors say are equally as aggressive, are still around.
You heard that.
Down, but his parents, who neighbors.
The journalist, the narrator, called the owners of this dog the dog's parents.
I was in complete shock.
Bruno has since been put down, but his parents, who neighbors.
Parents. Man, this dog nut culture is so embedded, it's so well established. We have to admit that. It is well established, where even the journalists on air using the dog nut language.
Neighbors say are equally as aggressive are still around.
I don't want to see somebody else get hurt by these animals or possibly even killed.
Well, then they shouldn't be around. That's the only way to put an end to it. Let's stop with all of these so-called solutions that are not solutions. They do nothing to solve the problem.
On my back, I looked up and I saw another one coming and I started screaming.
Mary Benbenek was walking her 9-year-old Yorkie Snickers when two large dogs knocked her down after they forced open this gate.
And there was just nothing
Forced open the gate. Huh?
I could do.
A third dog grabbed Snickers and mauled him. Mary quickly rushed him to the vet with a broken back, a cut eye hanging from its socket. He was euthanized less than an hour later.
Seeing that dog being mauled like it was pretty scary.
Raymond DuPont saw the attack.
I think that they should be taken away and probably find some responsible owners.
There you go. Responsible owners. I can't with this. I got to skip this story. It's infuriating me.
Can't do anything, man.
Neighbors helplessly watched 3 pit bulls attack a black poodle in Lake Worth last Wednesday.
No, then this idiot is walking 3 pit bulls.
3
Can't do anything, man.
Neighbors helplessly watched 3 pit bulls attack a black poodle in Lake Worth last Wednesday.
He's dead. They keep eating him, though. Oh, I need to get this over with.
Today, the woman who
Oh, here we got another dog nut.
the poodle could
Oh
hardly
my
bear
God.
to show us where it happened.
I was right here, and
Oh,
that's when they came across and they drugged her.
She says the
some more fake crying.
pit bulls pulled the poodle and his leash right out of her hands. You can actually see the owner of the pit bulls, Ramiro Trejo, struggling to kick his dogs off of the poodle.
Look at this idiot. Y'all see that? And y'all want me to believe that I can trust these people who have these dogs on a leash? Oh, you got a leash. Oh, well, I'm safe. When you see a mutt on a leash, you treat that situation as if there is no leash, because essentially there is no leash. Now, this guy's probably on social media talking about how responsible of a dog owner he is. Look at me. I always got my dogs on a leash. But when they start attacking somebody, he rolling all over the ground. Totally ineffective. Cannot get these mutts off of this other mutt that they're mauling. He's absolutely worthless and useless. Now just imagine if those dogs were mauling someone's child. Again, he wouldn't be able to do squat about it. So don't tell me that I need to trust these dog owners, these people who got a mutt on a leash. The only thing I trust is those dogs not being around.
They had her hanging sideways. They were too big. Just watching her get torn like that, it was. I couldn't deal with it.
Okay, so she managed to muster up some tears.
To death by the family pet. This is little girl.
Now y'all remember this is a different story.
To death by the family pet. This is after mommy's desperate attempts to save the child, even being mauled herself.
Now, let me pause here. People, like I said, these are blood sacrifices. These people purchased these dogs knowing full well that this could happen. And they make the conscious decision. It's not subconscious. They make the conscious decision to go through it, to risk it anyway, to gamble, to play Russian roulette. How this is not a murder case via reckless endangerment. I mean, at the very least, even if there were reckless endangerment charges, that parent would be arrested. To see each parent get off without having any charges pressed against them only adds to the criminality of this dog nut culture. You, the adult, created this environment, these living conditions. You knew that this was possible, and what'd you do? You took the chance anyway. So when that happens, these people need to be arrested. That would make people think twice, and it would make many people decide not to even get a bully breed, not even get a Rottweiler, maybe not to even get a dog, period. We need strong laws like this, strong laws in each area. You're going to be charged with murder. If that mutt kills a child, and you will be charged with attempted murder and all kinds of other charges if they are mutilated.
Trying to save her child. Tonight, we hear that neighbors claim they've been afraid of the family dog, a pit bull, for some time, even keeping their children and their pets inside. And recently, a neighbor claims the dog attacked their dog viciously.
When Julie Nolan heard a loud bang in the back of her Parma home Friday, her daughter ran to see what happened.
And she's like, Mom, there's a dog trying to get in.
Nolan said a pit bull mix was trying to break through her door to get to her dog Max. But the
and pit bulls they attack just for sport, just to attack. You know what? Somebody shared a video with me. I'm going to share it here on this live stream. These are the worst vermin, these pit bulls. They are much worse than the other dogs, and that's saying a lot. They're straight up demonic, just Satan's children. And they must be exterminated. They have to be euthanized ASAP.
The door was too heavy. She said the dog ran down the street to her neighbor's home where a small white dog was barking in the doorway.
And we heard, get off, get off, get off.
The pit bull ran up to the house, ripped open the screen, and just pulled the dog out and started attacking the dog.
He was bleeding. You see blood all over the dog.
See, the mutt is not hungry. They kill just to kill for sport.
Was to have that dog euthanized, and then the dog was tested for rabies.
Probably a good idea. Could you ever trust the dog again?
Well, you should have never trusted it in the first place. That's part of the problem. You hear what she said?
Determined that the best thing to do was to have that dog euthanized, and then the dog was tested for rabies.
Probably a good idea. Could you ever trust the dog again?
Could you ever trust the dog again? That was a confession. What did she confess to? That there is a risk. And that every dog owner consciously says, I'm going to trust the dog. So there's no getting off scot-free with no charges after it attacks. No, now you're guilty. Now you need to be thrown in prison.
Raylene Liming was looking forward to another season as a Batavia cheerleader, but that's on hold now.
You see, you notice how the laws are worthless in every department? First of all, they shouldn't even be in the society. You shouldn't be allowed or able to go and purchase a dog. That's first of all, that's the first mistake, flaw in our laws. Then on top of that, if it kills your child or someone else's, you're not going to face charges. And there's a good chance the dog will get moved to a different state and rehomed. So the laws are screwed up from start to finish.
Now, why? A pit bull attacked her at a friend's house on Sunday night.
That dog
attacked her at a friend's house. Again, kids, do not go over people's homes who got dogs.
They're pretty good.
The 8-year-old had 218 stitches put in to repair the damage. Her mother, Rachel, is keeping a close eye on her.
Kids, y'all better stop watching these stupid cartoons, these stupid movies with dogs in them, projecting dogs as these nice, loving creatures. Oh, they never attack. They never show dogs mauling kids in cartoons, nothing like that. Y'all better stop watching these stupid cartoons and movies, and you better start watching stuff like this. News coverage, videos showing dogs being their true selves, attacking for absolutely no reason.
Her father, Steve, is stunned.
They had to go and put stitches all the way across their top lip.
Stunned for what? Y'all know that makes me sick too. How people, oh, I can't believe it. Stop.
She's got a gash right across here from where her whole chin was hanging. So they had to stitch that inside and out.
It happened at the home of Dennis Grant on Seton Court in Batavia Township. Michaela Forster was in her room and heard the screams.
Like when I heard he bit, I thought it was my little brother.
But it was Ray Lynn that was attacked by a dog she says is friendly and gentle.
Oh, see, it was friendly and gentle. That wasn't her first time interacting with this mutt. Huh? Are you dog nuts? Are you pit bull nuts? These are all pit bulls. What do you have to say now? You think just after the dog sees you a few times and you're playing with it, oh, the dog knows me. It'll never attack me. It'll never attack my child. Y'all better smarten up. Y'all better wake up.
All the neighborhood kids, he always gets on his line and they all come up and play with him.
The Grants brought Thor to the Claremont.
See, everybody used to play with the dog. Can you imagine a dog nut seeing this? Oh, look, all the kids in the neighborhood play with the dog. Oh, this is a loving dog. He would never attack anyone. You already know these dog nuts would be using this dog as an example that pit bulls are harmless and loving dogs as long as you raise them the right way. See, here's an example. Lo and behold, this mutt ended up mauling a little girl.
County Animal Shelter on Monday.
The owner is charged with a vicious dog attack.
Thor could be put down.
Charged with a vicious dog attack. No, should be charged with murder. These people need to be sent to prison.
In 10 days or return to the Grants with several conditions.
He must be labeled as a vicious dog.
Labeled as a vicious dog? How does that protect people? This is some more stupid laws. It attacks a little girl and you say, oh, you can keep it. You just have to get a card that says that it's a vicious dog. How does that protect people? As long as you let that mutt live, you're giving it the green light to attack again. Again. This is sacrifice. People, this is sacrifice. These dog lovers are willing to sacrifice our blood because we could end up getting attacked ourselves. They don't care. They don't care who sheds blood. As long as our bloodshed enables their dogs to exist in society. They're forcing us to sacrifice ourselves. And we all know, consciously or unconsciously, we know that's what it is. These people are sacrificing our health, our life, our well-being for these worthless mutants.
Dangerous dog. He must have a tag. He must buy a license that says...
A tag, a license, none of which protects you.
He is a dangerous dog.
Kathy Liming looks at her granddaughter and talks to her in a soothing voice.
What do you think? When people see a dog, you think they ask, oh, can I see its license? Does it have a dangerous dog license? No, they run right up to it and pet it. These stupid dog nuts invite you in their home. The mutt's inside off leash. They know it's going to pound. They don't care.
I'm very thankful that it wasn't the whole face and everything.
The response.
Very thankful that it wasn't her whole face. Look at this girl's face. There ain't nothing to be thankful about. I don't want to hear this nonsense. A mutt mutilate 98% of your body. What you going? Oh, well, I'm thankful it wasn't 100%. You can't talk sense into people who don't care about themselves. All of these dog lovers, they're sociopaths. These are lunatics who have a very low value for human life. That includes their own life. And if they don't care about their own life, they don't care about their kids' life. I don't care how much they try to talk like they love their kids. No, they do not. No, they do not. Any and everything that I love, you best believe I'm going to protect it with my life. And I'm going to detect any threats to it a mile away. It's not going to come near my child. Not even close.
Thumbs up for a girl that faces a long recovery.
I just don't think pit bulls ought to be around kids. You never know when they're going to turn. and it turned on my granddaughter, and I'm very upset about it.
Yeah, very upset about it. Okay.
6-year-old girl is mauled by 2 dogs. Police releasing dash cam video right here showing the brutal...
Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this story? I actually reported on a lot of these stories, but I want to let them roll back to back, right? In support of this petition.
Attack and the steps that they took to end it.
3 minutes from the initial call, officers...
Look at that. The actual attack was caught on camera.
On scene, ready to help. Once the 2 dogs ran off, officers fired several shots, killing both pit bulls. Kyle Strunk is a 9-year veteran police officer and says he's never seen anything like it. He says she wouldn't have lived if the officers had not stepped in.
The dog had her by the face, so they pulled her skin off. They broke her jaw. Her tongue is gone.
Broke her jaw. That's another thing people don't consider. Dogs will oftentimes crush your bones. They can bite that hard, or they can just crush your bones. People end up with broken limbs all the time. So these mutts were biting her face so hard they broke her jaw. And you get something like this is okay to be inside the home? You treat this like a family member? Bring this thing in the stores and public places? It's only a matter of time. There's going to be a huge uproar about the presence of these things.
Baby.
7-year-old Jayshawn Bean is remarkably in good spirits as he recalls surviving...
He ain't in good spirits. What are you talking about? Oh my
a
God.
terrifying dog attack over the weekend.
His whole mouth right there. Yeah. When he bit me right here, it was going like going down like that.
Jayshawn and his buddy were playing outside Saturday afternoon when he says a neighbor's pit bull came running around the corner and attacked them. The dog lunged at his friend first, nearly ripping off both ears and biting him all over his body. Jayshawn says the dog turned on him when he tried to intervene. Neighbors say the owner put the dog in a van and took off. Police later arrested the dog's owner. The animal was found in Kenosha. Jayshawn's grandmother says the dog has long been a problem in the neighborhood.
14-month-old.
Okay, so how is he in good spirits? All he did was explain the attack. See, this is, you got to catch stuff like this. Because they will throw in little things like this to suggest that it's not a big deal. Yeah, he was attacked, but he's in good spirits now. Just like that other guy who said that he hopes that the child is able to forget about the attack. That is why they over-exaggerate and overemphasize a child's recovery. Look, this child was attacked a few weeks ago, and look at her now. What a hero. Wow, just look at you and how you recover. So nobody questions the presence of dogs. It's all a smoke screen. All a smoke screen. They don't want the types of discussions we're having right now.
Bull came running around the corner and attacked them. The dog lunged at his friend first, nearly ripping off both ears and biting him all over his body. Jayshawn says the dog...
And in the process, the dog latched on to our dog.
Dan Mayer's wife did not want to go on camera after having the tip of her nose bitten.
Started sniffing apples.
Wait a minute.
Dogs, I mean...
Yeah, this is what I want.
You don't think...
Listen to this.
The home of a babysitter Wednesday.
And she probably had no clue about her dogs. I mean, you don't think your dog's going to turn on anybody.
You don't think your dog's going to turn on anybody.
Her dogs, I mean, no...
Hear what she said?
No clue.
She probably had no clue about her dogs. That's what she said.
About her dogs. I mean, you don't think your dog's going to turn on anybody.
Oh my God. This is the stupidity I'm talking about.
Sniffed.
I mean, I had no clue.
That is sheer, unadulterated stupidity in its purest form. What do you mean she had no clue? Did she not see those long teeth? Stop with this. Oh, I had no idea. Never knew this could happen. Oh, wow. You never think. Shut up. These people, I swear, this type of stupidity can only be present in the people who have been brainwashed. I refuse to believe that the human brain, going through its natural process, would arrive at this level of stupidity. You need some type of propaganda machine speaking against common sense to produce crazy people like this. And that is what this dog nuttery is. In the form, it's on TV, cartoons, all over these ads, YouTube, everywhere. Propaganda projecting dogs as family, harmless, man's best friend, as no different from human kids. That is how you produce stupid, brain dead people like this, who after an attack say, oh, I never had a clue this could happen. My goodness.
About her dogs. I mean, you don't think your dog's going to turn on anybody.
Started sniffing apples, started to get a little weird, so my wife tried to...
See, you know, they bring this stupidity outside of their home. This is what makes these idiots bring their dogs outside and hand the leash to a 7-year-old. Let it run off leash. These are deranged people. They get brainwashed by this dog nut propaganda, and then they come outside of their home just deranged and reckless and dangerous. Here, Fido, go run around the block.
Grab him, and in the process, the dog latched on to our dog.
Dan Mayer's wife did not want to go on camera after having the tip of her nose bitten off and one of her hands badly mauled. Her injuries might have been worse if it hadn't been for this man and others who came to her rescue.
I jumped on, I held on to the dog also.
Good for you.
Victoria's grandfather's pit bull attacked her a few months ago.
Oh, hold up.
Victoria's grandfather's pit bull.
So, this is the animal that these people want to tell us are beautiful, gorgeous, loving. I really have a hard time looking at these things. And when I do lay eyes on them, I won't say on this video what I actually think, what actually goes through my mind. But I do not believe that the human mind would naturally view something that looks like this as adorable, attractive, loving, welcoming. The only way you can look at something this ugly, hideous, disgusting looking and be pleased at what you're looking at is if you've been brainwashed. It's the only way. These things are ugly. They look goofy. They look dumb, nasty, always drooling. These are the dumbest, ugliest animals on earth. That's not an opinion. That is a fact.
Leaving her face covered in scars and Victoria needing money.
Y'all remember I reported on this story.
Some treatment.
I think she surprised everybody, you know, even the doctors and nurses.
Man, what do you do? What do you do? Look at how the children have to grow up being abused. Having a parent who treats the dog as if the dog's more important than them. And that's what all you dog nuts do. And especially so with you pit bull nutters and you Rottweiler nutters, all these big mutts. All of them abuse their kids by treating the dogs as if the dog is more important than the kids. How do they do that? by bringing the dogs into the home. They are quietly saying to the child, this dog is more important than you. That is why we're going to sacrifice your safety so that the dog can be in here. If it mauls you, if it attacks you, oh well. We're going to feel heartbroken. We're going to start you a GoFundMe. And if you're still alive, we're going to keep the dog. If we have to put it down, we're going to get another one. But you are not more important than the dog. People, this is abuse. It is neglect, and neglect is abuse. It's reckless endangerment. It violates so many actual laws. And it also violates basic human codes of decency.
That's a blessing. She's a fighter.
In February of 2000.
So how do these kids cannot grow up into sane adults when they have been feeling neglected, been growing up being abused, having a dog projected as more important and valuable than them. This is how we end up with so many crazy people in this world.
2014, Kevin was attacked by a pit bull while at his babysitter's house. He spent weeks in the hospital, needed a feeding tube to eat, couldn't even open his right eye.
Y'all remember I covered Kevin? Where, yeah, this is the story where they refused to say Kevin's name, but they said the name of that mutt multiple times.
The damage looked irreversible, and Kevin's mom resigned herself to a lifetime of pain for her little boy.
Last night, this little dog, 8-pound Skippy, was under attack. His owner says pit bulls from the next door neighbor's yard came over and went right for this little pooch.
Skippy's owner, Fort Pierce's Patricia Sains, tells the story best.
All of a sudden I hear...
Now, this is a narcissist dog nut right here. And it's very unfortunate that she's a dog nut because she seems pretty skilled at telling stories. Right? Check this out.
Squealing, I mean loud squealing like I've never heard before.
It was her 5-year-old Chihuahua mix in the backyard.
I run out this way.
She says 2 much larger pit bulls were going after her dog, so she grabbed her shotgun.
The dogs were right here attacking my dog, so I took the gun. Boom! I shot them. They scat.
They scattered, she says, but not for long.
And they're trying to go back, so I started doing like this with the gun. And I got them to move, and I got them to go this way and this way. And they backed up. When they backed up, I grabbed Skippy.
She put Skippy inside, and then Patricia says she had to defend herself.
So I closed the door, and they're up here on the door, and they're trying to come in. They're trying to come in. Rah, rah, rah. So I took the gun again. Boom! I shot him again. I missed them, but I hit him in the ear, and they took off running, and they went back in their yard. And that was the end of that.
Oh, my. Well, she paints a very colorful picture for you, right? We may not have been there, but the way she reenacts it helps a lot, right? It's unfortunate that these people are dog nuts. It's very unfortunate because a lot of them, you know, they have potential. They have talents. I cover dog nuts. You know, those of you who follow my MMA channel, virtually all MMA fighters are dog lovers. Many of these people have extraordinary talents. That's why there is some glimmer of hope that we can turn them around.
Her dog was alive, but with several puncture wounds to his neck, stomach, back, and legs.
I thought he was in shambles. Before I got to look at him and pull him into the house, I thought he was all tore up. I didn't even want to look.
They are pictures of a smiling, playful toddler.
Boom, and this is another one. Again, this is a brilliant documentary, and it's only 23 minutes in right now. Now, I've been cutting it off and talking and all this, but I love the way it goes from one story to another, and I cannot believe this has been online for over 3 years, and only has like 6,000 views.
Images of 1-year-old Daxton Borkart shared by family in happier times. The Walworth County coroner says an autopsy was performed Wednesday on the body of the little boy who lost his life tragically a day earlier. But it could be weeks before an official report is released. Walworth County deputies say the boy was being watched by a babysitter in this Walworth apartment Wednesday when 2 of the woman's pit bulls suddenly attacked. Both the babysitter, 30-year-old Susan Nowicki, and the toddler suffered injuries. They were rushed to a local hospital. Daxton later died. The 2 dogs were euthanized by a local veterinarian.
That was a blood sacrifice. Blood sacrifice.
On Tuesday,
the dog was over the other side of the fence and then it jumped.
It jumped, and when it jumped, who did it try and get?
Me at first, and then it got Bubba.
7-year-old Jordan Conley ran from the pit bull and narrowly escaped, but Bubba, his 3-year-old cousin Ricky, didn't. His ear was ripped, his eye swollen shut, and his skull sustained serious injuries. Doctors say if the dog bit a half-inch more, Ricky may have died.
Just days after the 2 14-year-old girls were seriously hurt outside this Brown Deer home where one of them lives, Police Chief Michael Cass is releasing squad video showing 2 pit bulls attacking the girls.
Look at that. The police cam caught 2 dogs mauling 2 girls.
I've been a law enforcement officer for almost 30 years, and I have never seen an incident this horrific by 2 dogs.
As the officer arrives, 2 pit bulls are attacking the girls.
Wow. Wow. Under no circumstances should we open the door for this to happen. There's no argument. I don't want to hear anything. We should never create the conditions for things like this to happen. This is all human error, adult error. Being brainwashed by this propaganda. So you go out and buy a mutt. You're creating the conditions for this to happen. That's unacceptable. These things have to be banned. Don't talk to me about, it's all about how you raise them. You cannot monitor how people raise them, and your idea that it's all about how you raise them has been debunked and proven false numerous times, even by the experts.
One of the dogs taking a girl to the ground, the other already has a girl down and is biting her. We're not playing the audio because it is graphic, but the girls can be heard yelling for help. The officer shoots the first dog, which was still attacking one of the girls, then the other pit bull as it went after him. Both dogs died. Meantime, a next-door neighbor told us she's warned the dog's owner before about them running loose and being aggressive.
And I said, well, you should get a big chain because I've had a pit as well. And if you lock them on the tree, they're not going to break the tree.
So she had a pit as well. Sound like she's proud of the fact that she had a pit as well. Brain damaged people.
And we don't need your big dogs bothering my kids.
We don't need those big dogs in the neighborhood at all. You understand that? People got a problem with that. They don't talk like that. Dogs deserve an opportunity to live their life. I don't think so. What they deserve is to be euthanized. Every last one of them. They cannot coexist with other living organisms without trying to attack them. They attack. These are unwarranted attacks. These things are not even hungry. And they claim that they've adapted to humans after thousands of years. So why are they so still territorial and ready to attack any and everything that it can see? It's nonsense.
Because I will sue you, is what I told him. And now look at the consequence.
We shouldn't have to deal with this. He was 6 years old.
6-year-old Logan Bratz was with a group of friends who were just walking to the bus stop.
The kids were taking a cut through on Jasper Street in South.
Y'all remember this story? Yep, you remember this story too.
Logan tried.
You remember these mutts?
His mom says he died trying to help their neighbor, 5-year-old Sari Sanders. The girl attacked by 3 dogs while walking with a group of children to the school bus stop in his southwest Atlanta neighborhood Tuesday morning.
Why are these things still alive? Oh, it's so disgusting. How they let these things, how they refuse to kill these things on sight. That is so disgusting.
Logan tried to fight them off, but was no match for the animals. They turned on the boy, killing him. His friend Sari was critically injured, but survived. He was put here for a special reason, and I didn't know why. And that's what it was.
Breaking now, a child dies after a pit bull attack.
Well, Trisha, imagine the terror that must have been racing through that child's mind. Imagine the nightmare that child's parent is going through right now. We just talked with a man who says he is the uncle of the victim. He says that the attack happened right here at this home. Now, he also says that the victim was a 9-year-old boy. Police confirm the boy was visiting a friend. A pit bull at the friend's house lunges at the boy, mauls him. He later...
Yep, another case where you're at a friend's house. Like I said, stay away from your friend's house. They got dogs, don't go over there.
At the hospital, we're speaking with neighbors. Judith George tells us she has 2 children. She says this is especially disturbing.
I get really nervous about that because if I let my kids around and everything, so I probably shouldn't be letting.
Hey, you notice how whole communities live in terror? Scared to go outside, scared to let their kids outside, scared to let their kids ride bikes, ride scooters, skateboards. They're terrified just to live and exist in their communities like normal human beings. That should not be tolerated. This is what humans, or this is what Americans talk about when they talk about real life terrorists. They impede our way of life. Nobody's going to take away our way of life. That's exactly what dogs do. And they are protected in the process by laws and everybody. That is insane.
Take them out that much.
How worried are you?
What? How deranged of a group of intelligent beings can we possibly be? We are so deranged. People who work against their very own existence, operate against their own well-being. We are so-called intelligent creatures who knowingly create deadly and hazardous living conditions for ourselves and our offspring. Knowingly. We are regressed. And this need to be called out.
Well, now I'm worried a lot because there's not much going on around here until I heard that today and saw that.
A Chula Vista man watches in horror as 2 loose pit bulls run into his home and after his cat.
Very sweet, gentle cat.
14-year-old Pansy.
She was my baby.
Was in her backyard off Meyer Avenue 2 Wednesdays.
So this mutt just gets into the house. See? There you go. Another mutt that breaks free, right? At large in the neighborhood, looking for someone or something to attack. That's the first thing dogs do when they break free, is look for something to attack.
Nearby, this gate opened as Armando Nunez moved items to build a shed.
Putting this thing together, I looked down, and all of a sudden I see these 2 big dogs staring right at me.
2 pit bulls lightning quick. They sniffed this bird cage.
My cat was sleeping.
No, I don't think so.
And a few minutes later, the dogs took off under the garage.
Washington, D.C.
Look at this.
An owner has lost control of her pit bulls.
A owner has lost control of her pit bulls, plural. So these dog leash laws, are they really supposed to mean anything? When you see people with big dogs on a leash, especially if they got more than one, you should cuss them out right there on the spot. Especially if they're in a public place where kids are around. They should be called out on the spot. and ridiculed. Really, some other things should be done that I won't say on this video.
They've set their sights on this 13-year-old boy who's trying desperately to get away. The boy runs, but the dog...
Look at how they jumped on that car. Look at how those mutts jumped on top of that car. There's no escape. You need to be armed.
Follow. He hops a fence, narrowly escaping. Police officer Daryl Lee arrives on the scene. Now one of the dogs turns on a helpless 7-year-old child.
Turns on a helpless 7-year-old child. Notice how the mutt just decides to attack. Notice how the boy was not running. There's no narrative of a prey drive being kicked in. Well, if you see a dog, it's best to just stand there, be still, like a tree, so it doesn't attack you. Well, what happened here?
Dogs turns on a helpless 7-year-old child and chases him into the street.
Just looking for anybody to attack. Attack, 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 attack. I'm supposed to feel sorry for these things? When you show a stupid meme or an ad, ASPC ad, talking about giving money to feed it? I'm supposed to want to give food and shelter to these things? This is where I really don't get the narrative. These people's idea that dogs deserve something from us. The only thing they deserve is euthanization from us.
Barely avoids a passing motorist. The dog's owner reaches out to help, but the boy trips. The vicious animal strikes. With his gun drawn, Officer Lee moves in to protect the boy.
Just attacking you. Notice it's such a unwarranted, purposeless attack. Just for no reason. Anything that behaves like this has no business in our society. Listen, anything that behaves like this deserves to be hated with every drop of blood in your body. Humans should hate these things. And then when they see them, they should want them killed. Killed immediately. People should get on the phone as soon as they see a dog anywhere. There's a dog here. Everybody's in trouble. Please send someone. And the cop should show up unloading clips into that mutt. No questions asked.
The officer grabs the child, but the boy stumbles. The pit bull's powerful jaws snap shut on the boy's leg. The dog refuses to let go of the frightened child. With no other option.
What is it? The child is not even fighting. He's not doing nothing. Now all you dog nuts, all you dog experts who got all the answers, who insist that dogs never attack for no reason. What was the reason here? I don't even want to hear from, you know what? I don't even want to hear from you dog nuts. Because all y'all do is spew stupidity and nonsense.
The officer is forced to take immediate action.
So he shoots this dog. Check this out.
The terrified boy clings to the dog's owner. The pit bull is injured, but still poses a threat. It approaches again. Officer Lee raises his weapon, and the dog backs off.
The dog backs off, and he did not shoot it. This police officer refuses to kill it. Y'all believe that? These mutts still have that much clout. They can attack people, attack kids. And law enforcement will show up and refuse to kill them.
The kid was walking down the street, and the dog saw the kid at first. And I was like, oh no, this kid does not know what's going on here. The kid ran around for a minute, and the dog caught him. And the dog grabbed hold of the kid's leg. The dog was just locked on his leg, just letting the dog, and the dog would not let go.
Officer Lee knew what he had to do.
He didn't kill it.
I think people are responsible you know, more than the dog.
These dogs had no respect.
People are responsible more than the dog. Okay, people are responsible. They are responsible more than the dog. But you should never say stuff like this. You should never say anything that protects the dogs. See, statements like this are made to suggest that dogs are acceptable members of our society. That is why they say things like this. That, oh, it's not the dog's fault. Oh, I blame the owners. You can't blame the dog. Their suggestion, the implication there is that dogs are acceptable members of our society. They are not. They are not. And not only should all dogs be removed from society, if the lawmakers refuse to do that, okay. But I would at least expect them to ban bully breeds. How could you not at least ban the most vicious? How could you not ban the breed that carries out so many attacks, that have unique statistics? When you're talking about deaths from a dog, you're talking about over 75% is going to be a bully breed. Absolute madness.
For their master, a good dog would listen to its owner if called off. Her dogs didn't care about her.
A good dog would listen to its owner when called off. These people are it's just unbelievable. The stupidity is unreal.
They cared about attacking a poor innocent child.
Luckily, the boy suffers only minor injuries, and the only scars he'll carry are the emotional ones.
Okay. That is enough of that. That's enough of that. I am infuriated. And I want to leave people with something else. Something else. Let me see if I can find it here. Somebody left it on a video, and I want to thank whoever that was for sharing that link. Let me get it here. That was Yusuf Mambo. Right? He shared this video here. This is the true nature of pit bulls, of bully breeds. Excuse me. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. This is the true nature of bully breeds. Bloodthirsty, violent, angry, will snap at any moment, might pretend to be civil, but they are ticking time bombs just waiting to go off. I want you to look at this. Look at this. Right? Let me include the music. I like this eerie music because it's appropriate, it's fitting. Look at how it latches on. Quite often, can you imagine? This is your child. You trying to pull that dog off of your child. People, a creature like this, under no circumstances has any business in any homes in the United States. Has no business in our neighborhoods, in our communities. Don't talk to me about training. We should not trust creatures like this. Under no circumstances. Everybody needs to sign that petition. Everybody in all states need to make sure that nobody is allowed to own these things. Nobody should be allowed to own these things. You are an idiot. Idiot if you do. I mean, look at this. And the main thing you need to focus on when you watch these, look, you got 3 adults here. You're talking about a responsible dog owner. And 3 grown men cannot put an end to an attack. It takes them forever. And just keep in mind, many times this is a child. The victim is a child, not another dog. Right? Look at the anger. Look at how evil these creatures are. All they think about, fight, attack, attack. The most despicable, demonic, evil creatures on this planet by far. I'm not trying to project dogs in a negative light. I'm not trying to project bully breeds in a negative light. I'm simply explaining the light that they produce. Right? I'm just telling you what I see. These people talk about propaganda against bully breeds. No, it's the bully breeds themselves that produce the statistics. Themselves. But of course, they never want to blame. Don't blame the dog. Oh, it's so wrong to blame a breed. Why? How is that going to hurt us? This is what I want these dog nuts to answer. Y'all keep making these stupid statements. Oh, it's so wrong to blame the breed. Why? How is that going to hurt us? How is that a bad thing? You have no answer. But I tell you how it will help us. It will immediately eliminate a whole bunch of attacks, spare the lives of dozens of people. We got to start putting these people on blast. They are far too vulnerable. They're far too vulnerable for us to be passive and submissive. Are y'all able to even see this? Like, am I having... Okay, y'all don't even see this, do you? This thing is malfunctioning. Oh my goodness. How long is this going on? Are y'all able to see this video? Okay, yeah, you can. What is going on? Can y'all see that? Okay. I didn't because you... Okay, y'all can see this. Okay, I thought the screen was blank. Yeah, y'all remember this one. Okay, now let me see. Bear with me here. Let me see if I can go back to my power. There we go. There we go. Now, these worthless mutts, these out of control, deadly, evil, vile mutants that they call pit bulls, all bully breeds, they have the experts against them always. Dr. Andrew Fenton says, as a practicing emergency physician, I've witnessed countless dog bites. Invariably, the most vicious and brutal attacks I've seen have been from the bully breed. Many of the victims have been children. In a recent study from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, pit bull attacks accounted for more emergency room visits than all other breeds combined. And you got people telling us we can't blame the breed? That we can't even look at the breed? Where do you get off? Says who? Your word is supposed to override the doctors? Get out of here. These people, we give them so much room to talk strong and big as if they have a case. You can't blame the breed. Well, I got dozens of doctors and physicians over here to say you can. Now what? These people, you don't even debate these people. Don't argue with these people. Let's just put out the facts, put out the information. They don't deserve you. There's no reason to. The only way I debate a dog nut is if they had some serious credentials. I would definitely gladly debate a dog behaviorist who is a dog nut, who believes that dogs are appropriate in our society. The only ones I debate, just to show the world that even their experts have no answer, no argument, and cannot justify the presence of these things in society. Dr. Christopher Demas, or Demas, bites from pit bulls inflict much more damage. Multiple deep bites and ripping of flesh, and are unlike any other domestic animal I've encountered. Their bites are devastating, close to what a wild cat or shark would do. He compared the attacks from a bully breed to an attack from a lion, tiger, and sharks. And you telling me we can't look at breed? That these things are family members? That they're appropriate inside the home where babies and toddlers are? And it's not child endangerment if they are? And this is coming from doctors? What are we talking about here? This is a joke. Dr. Amy Wandel. I see just as many dog bites from dogs that are not pit bulls as bites from pit bulls. The big difference is pit bulls are known to grab onto something and keep holding. So the damage they create is worse than other breeds. Another doctor. And what do the dog nuts have? Their next door neighbor, who says you can't blame the breed. You know, it's sad. I see a lot of people who don't like pit bulls. They seem like they're at a loss for words when a pit bull nut hits them with that narrative. Well, you can't blame the breed. It's no different. It's all about how you raise them. It's too easy. Too easy to shoot down these people's arguments. Dr. Robert Newman, as a pediatrician, I was disturbed to read the assertion that there are no bad breeds. Listen to this. Listen to this. Huh? This is exactly what I wanted to hear. This is the type of support for the petition I want. Said it's disturbing to hear people say that there are no bad breeds, just bad dogs. He said people who say that, it's disturbing. He said simply, there is ample evidence to suggest that certain breeds of dogs are more dangerous to children than others. End quote. And let me add on to that. But all dogs are dangerous to children. All of them. Some just more dangerous than others. And we are trying to ban the most dangerous. And if there is no support for that type of righteous, right agenda, then you need to question yourself. You need to question yourself. Question your moral ethics and all of that. No way should you run across a petition like this without signing it. Dr. Richard Satan, is this his last name, Satan? Chief of Unintentional Injury Section of the CDC. Check that out. Chief of the Unintentional Injury Section of the CDC. What did he say? He said, listen, quote, we're trying to focus public attention on this greatly underestimated public hazard. Can y'all believe that? Bingo. Bingo. He said exactly what I wanted to hear. What a way to support this petition. Wow. Bravo. Standing ovation for the doctor. This is a greatly underestimated public hazard. And that's all I've been trying to hammer home ever since I've been here on this channel. Sign this petition. Stop allowing people to reduce our quality of life, to make it difficult, sometimes impossible, for us to enjoy the outdoors. Stop allowing these people to sacrifice innocent children who unfortunately happen to be usually their own children. The laws have no interest in protecting these children, so they allow these lunatics to purchase these predators, these mutated predators that are hyper aggressive, bring them inside the home. And even though they say it's illegal to have them off leash outside, they have them off leash inside the home, which puts everyone at an even higher risk. And that's exactly why most people, most kids are attacked by the family dog. And if it's not the family dog, it is a dog of a friend or family member. And over 50% of all injuries are inflicted by bully breeds. A breed of mutt that only make up what? 3-5% of the total mutt population? I don't have to, go through article after article to justify or argue that these things should be banned. This is common sense. Common sense. And fitting, dogsbite.org makes a guest appearance on this live stream. Like I said, last year, 46 fatalities. Pit bulls killed 33 of those people. During the pandemic, media reports of fatal dog maulings dropped by 45%. So in response, dogsbite.org sent out 30 FOIAs to various offices and uncovered 6 unreported deaths in 2020. The last time the CDC collected breed data about dogs involved in fatal human attacks was 1998. Bully breeds have killed over 440 Americans since then. Like the doctor said, this is a greatly underestimated public hazard. Please sign the petition. And my apologies, I did not spend much time in the chat room during this presentation. My apologies, and a big shout out and thank you to all the supporters and contributors to the channel. You know what? I think I'm going to start using the membership area to say things that I won't say live on YouTube. I have to. That's going to be therapeutic, right? So I'm going to have to, it might be a little graphic, right? You might hear me say some things that I think about all the time, but I never actually say it, right? Because I need to be frank. I need an area where I can just be totally honest, right? So again, thanks to everybody who joined the stream. Please share the petition. Please share the petition. And let us at least ban the most vicious, bloodthirsty, out of control, brainless, soulless mutts of them all, the bully breeds, as we continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling, brainwashed owners.